Hello and welcome to Topham Chat. This week my guest is McDom. Hey man, how's it going?
It's going good, Topham. How are things?
Yeah, things are okay. Changes at work, and it's just been hectic. So I'm just trying to handle that at the moment. But still things are unsettled, and as such, I'm going to try and avoid that topic as much as possible. And then outside of work, I just can't really talk much about that either. So I'm just going to talk about the two things that I do know are happening right now. Which are, this is like episode 98 of this podcast, Topham Chats. And I'm going to hit 100 and then I'm going to rebrand it as to something else. I'm not sure what it is right now. Maybe it's going to be like the easily excitable podcast with Topham. Because I get very enthusiastic about things. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. And I kind of want to brand it kind of towards that, so that when I'm speaking to people, I can be like, I'm really enthusiastic and excited about this. And then I can start with what's got you excited this week? Say games have come out and things, and people can talk about that. And that's kind of basing itself off of Daft Souls, where Matt Lees asks, what have you been playing this week? And the other one, which is This Is Rad, which is Carl Cock and Matthew Burnside.
You listen to so many sodding podcasts. Like, I can barely get the patch in every week.
I listen to them too much. I have like an hour drive each day where I listen to podcasts. Like that's half an hour there, half an hour back, and then I've got like an hour in the morning before anyone gets in. So I have another hour there. So I have basically 2 hours of time in a day to listen to podcasts. And I don't know, I like listening to people talk, and when people are in the lab, it's easy for me to just be like, okay, I'm going to put music on instead. But when I'm playing games and sitting around, I found that watching things like Game Grumps and things like that, where I don't really need to pay attention to the gameplay that's going on necessarily, so I can listen to that like it's a podcast, but then I've also got all these things, these podcasts that I do listen to. And I like exercising, and I can listen to podcasts while exercising, because music, you've got a rhythm and everything to them. But I'm very aware how long many of the songs I listen to are. So I'm just like, okay, I know I'm midway through this song, I've still got 2 minutes to go. And it's like, it kind of gets a bit bleh. But when I'm listening to a podcast, I'm just like, okay, you can just keep smashing this out. And I don't know, I like listening to people talk, I guess. Which is something I guess I've discovered recently, especially as I have less of a fondness for things that people write. So I think it kind of balances out when like people are like, oh, I've written this, read this. I've like never really read a book.
Read it to me.
Like, yeah, I will happily, like if I need to listen to books, read books, I'll happily try and find a place where I can listen to them instead.
Audible, mate. Just go on Audible.
Yeah. Get
yourself a subscription.
Exactly.
And you will be fine.
Yeah. The thing is, I listen to so many podcasts, I don't really have time for books. So
yeah, no, like your standard audiobook is like 10 to 12 hours long, maybe. And
that's fine.
Like,
I could bang that out in a week. Like, that's easy.
Yeah, but that's a lot of times we listen to just one person talk.
Yeah.
Like, I got my way through 3 books, the Abortion series, and that was Tim Curry talking to me for about 30 hours, roughly. Mm-hmm. And that was just 3 books. I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong, but I think I've listened to enough Tim Curry for a while.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I've, like I said, I'm trying to rebrand, and I'm following certain, I don't know, shows that I follow. I'm obviously taking influence from them, which is kind of what I'd expect myself to do. Because I did originally set out to do this podcast so that I could be like, oh, I'll interview new people each week. And then I got to a point where I've interviewed so many different people, but I kind of want to do something with a regular cast and like have regular people popping up now and again, so that I can kind of talk more about me and my life and my opinions on stuff, which is what I found. I discovered that I liked that more. And as such, it's just got to a point where I'm just like, okay, I've strayed so much away from what I originally set out as my goal for the podcast that I should probably rebrand it and like start fresh. Basically.
100's a good way to do it as well, because like you can say, right, I got to a milestone, I got to 100, I'm done. And yeah, that does kind of line up. I mean, I think you had Audrey was the most recent new person. And wasn't she?
No, I had her on forever ago. Like,
oh, did you? I thought,
ages
was there
yeah.
like a massive gap or something then?
There was a massive gap.
Right,
yeah, I've only
was.
had Audrey on twice, but yeah, it's been so long since. So yeah, I can't remember the last new person I had. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm one of the more recent people you've had, and I've been on 8 times since then.
Yeah,
so I think it's number 8 or number 9 or something. So
yeah, yeah. So like I've been thinking a lot, like, oh, maybe I should just stop it entirely, but it's something I really enjoy doing each week, and it gets me doing something consistently. And yeah, so far it's week 98, episode 98, and I put out one episode where I couldn't get a guest at like episode 7 or 8. And it's in between there. It's not numbered or anything, so technically I've done it for 99 weeks in a row. And so yeah, I'm a stickler for consistency. Like, as you can tell, like I've done this one. I haven't missed a week. I've done journals every day. I've missed one day out of 870 something. Like, I don't know. I've managed
it's a
to
hell of a commitment. I'm not gonna lie.
4.5 years, and like. I know when I started and I'm doing well not to carry on. And it's getting so tempting at the moment because people are like, the weather's nice, let's have a cider. I'm just like, I want a cider, but like I can't go down that rabbit hole again because it's not worth it for me. But I don't know. I just, yeah, you know, you get that feeling. You're just like, I just want to embrace that. But you can't do it because otherwise you'll end up like asleep on the street 5 miles from your house and just like, this isn't really the best place to be, is it?
Talking from experience, no, it's really not a nice place to be.
No.
This is coming from the guy who decided to walk home from Bristol town centre to home, which at the time was in Bristol Temple Meads, which is, I don't know, a 10-mile walk at 4 in the morning. Didn't get back till midday. I was not in a good situation.
No, I can imagine.
Good times. That was 2 and a bit years ago. Anyway.
Oh, crazy.
Shall we get onto the topic which you have dragged me here yet again to talk about?
I know, right? It's almost like we both play the same game, and at the moment we're at the same point of it.
We are.
We are.
Well, you say that. You haven't done any of the side areas, which I have done, so...
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're talking about Dark Souls 3, and I've been playing rather intensely. My save file's at 24 hours, and I'm at the boss Lothric and Lorien. And I guess you're there too. I'm actually curious how many hours you've put into it to get to this point.
I think I'm like 30 something hours, but like I said to you, or like I just said a second ago, there's 2 side areas, one of which is not really massive, but the other one is pretty substantial, to be honest.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's kind of like doing the the 2 areas in Dark Souls 1. There's the Great Hollow and the Painted World of Ariamus. Like,
the Painted World.
They're about equivalent, except the longer one is even longer than the Painted World was. Like, probably I'd say about twice the size.
Okay.
Which is a really good area, which, again, I recommend you go try and find if you know where it is, because unfortunately, one of them is behind a illusory wall, which you're not going to know it's there unless you kind of look it up, or unless you get incredibly lucky.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been having a fun time wandering around, but like, I don't know. I beat Yorm the Giant, which was a weird fight because I didn't know you had to pick up the sword. I actually picked up the sword after I'd beaten the fight, but I did summon people in, which is something I'm accustomed to doing at the moment.
I had to look it up, which will come across in the recordings eventually, because you know I'm kind of running through it twice at the moment, because what I'm doing is I'm recording one for YouTube, which is a blind playthrough, which I'm keeping ahead of another one.
Yeah.
But the other guy is so close behind. At this point, Janus, which is the YouTube one, is at Lothric and Lorien.
Yeah.
Argus is slightly before. He's at Lothric and Lorien, but he hasn't done any of the side bits yet.
Okay.
Though I do need to get and do the side bits with him, because it's quite important for his character.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. Like, I've been using the butcher's knife.
Yeah, you were telling me about this. Is that an axe or is that a great axe? Like, what sort of movesets does it have?
It's considered an axe.
Right, that's interesting. because that means they will swing a hell of a lot faster than mine will. Because I am using the Great Axe, which is obviously a Great Axe.
I don't get along with the Great Axe, and I'm trying to play a strength build. So I'm just like, I'm not getting on.
Yeah, but you're very Dex normally.
I play Dex.
So you like fast,
rolly and quick, and the battle axe style of the butcher's knife is really nice for me, and it's a really quick move set. So I can play that, but I've got 56 strength or something silly like that.
Why have you got that much strength? That's past the soft cap.
Is there a soft cap? I didn't know that there was a soft cap, so it's just like...
40's the hard cap and 50's the soft cap.
Okay.
That's the same for Dex and Strength.
Okay.
And for Intelligence and Faith. And... No, that's it. Yeah, generally 40's the soft cap and 50... It's generally the same for most stats. But yeah, if you got that much strength, you need to start putting it into something else because you ain't getting a lot of benefit. No. Although you did tell me it's scaled S with Strength, so...
It scales S with Strength.
Yeah, I don't know.
Once you get it to plus 10. So I found 2 Titanite slabs so far as well. I followed.
I've got 5. I've used 1. And I got 4, which I haven't used.
Yeah, I've got 1 that I haven't used yet, but I'm having a good time with it.
They seem to chuck them. This game seems to chuck Titanite at you.
Yeah.
Which is good because it means you can experiment, and you don't need to go back and farm to experiment, which is great because at this point, I've got 99 shards. I've got probably about 70 odd large shards. I got 50-ish chunks and 4 slabs. The only thing I don't particularly have a lot of because I've used them is the Titanite scales because I took out Yorm's axe. I got that from Lilith.
Okay.
And because I was like, oh, this is a great axe and it might be kind of similar to or comparable to my great axe. Not really. And it just used all my Titanite scales and I was like, well, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've been having fun with the butcher's knife. I tried using the great axe and it didn't really suit me. I did try originally going through the game as the sorcerer and it wasn't working out for me. So it's just like, okay, I'm just going to give up because I got stuck at Crystal Sage. I think one of the discrepancies is that, in playtimes, is that I spent 8 hours on a sorcerer trying to get to Crystal Sage, and then I loaded up started a strength character and got there in 2 hours. And got past it in 2 hours.
It's very reminiscent of Dark Souls 1 for the fact that I can run through the early areas quite quickly now. I was playing Argus pretty much alongside Beep Bap and Killer Cow.
Yeah.
And I was doing some co-op stuff with them. They were helping each other out, this, that, and the other. We got past the... what's the first Lord of Cinder you get to? It's the Abyss Watchers.
Oh yeah.
We got past the Abyss Watchers, and then I went away for 2 weeks, and I assumed they'd kind of gone off and done their own thing. Mm-hmm. So I leveled up Argus quite a lot in spare time. I was like, right, okay, where are you guys? And at this point, I was at the Dragon Slayer armor because I kind of overdid it a bit. And they're like, oh no, we're still at the Abyss Watchers. I'm like, I'm now 30 levels above you, and I have a +8 weapon, and you have a +3 still. So all that co-oping went out the window. So I've gone back, and I started going through with another character.
Yeah.
And I'm already at the Abyss Watchers, and I'm 3 hours in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I totally understand.
It took me about 10 hours the first time.
Yeah. So. I had a whole problem. I didn't see. Well, okay. So when I got to the place where the Deacons of the Deep is, the big cathedral thing, I didn't see the stairs behind the giant, so I could have probably cut 2.5 hours out of that area.
So you were running around trying to figure out where the hell to go.
I was trying to figure out where to go and how to get onto that platform. And I eventually just Googled it. I was like, oh, how do I get to there? And I was like, I'm just the biggest dumb.
I honestly had to Google Yorm, how to kill Yorm. Because I've done the entire playthrough with the YouTube, but I haven't summoned anybody in.
Okay,
Generally, that's how I play. First time I play it, I've got to beat a boss on my own.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying with some of them. Yorm, I just couldn't figure it out. I was like,
that's the thing. Cause, I genuinely got him to 2/3 health when he embers himself up.
Yeah.
And I'd only been hit once because he's got a very easy moveset to dodge, and I mean he hits hard, but again he's so slow.
Yeah.
That I was just chipping away at him with the axe, literally doing 30 damage or whatever it does, and then he tightened up or whatever. And I was like, well, fuck. I literally just homeward boned out. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this right now. There's got to be a better way of doing it. And I had to Google it, and then I was like, oh, right, okay.
There is
But
a much easier way to
there
do
is a
this.
much easier way to do it. It's also, I played it recently. Well, when I played it with Argus, I summoned in 2 people, and I had Sigvard there.
Yeah.
So you got 4 Stormbreakers just raining hell on the bastard.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't get up. Like, you was just stun
It
locked.
staggers so easy, so yeah.
Well, it staggers him every time you hit him, so you just like chain the charge on the Stormbreaker, and you just can't get up because he like gets up, about to swing, and then he gets smashed in the face with another hit.
Yeah. What I like as well, like with this game, is the poise system's like slightly different. So when you break
like
poise
that?
on the
That's
enemies,
interesting.
You can do your like special attacks, like your.
Oh, that's from Dark Souls 2.
I didn't realize that. Actually.
What you mean, like when they have a shield, you can kick it down and you can parry them.
Yeah,
basically.
like,
Yeah, that's
if you,
that's
like, break
straight
their
out.
poise, then you
That
can-
is straight out of Dark Souls 2.
I didn't realize because I never really. I don't know. I tried playing Sorcerer the whole way through that game, which might have been why I didn't have the best time with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That, I mean, they've kept a couple of things from Dark Souls 2. Like, they kept a few items.
Mm-hmm.
They kept a few, like, not enemies but enemy variants, which are like they rebranded them a bit, but they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept a load of spells from Dark Souls 2, which are the good ones. And yeah, that poise guard break.
Yeah.
They've kept as well, because that was straight out of Dark Souls 2. But I'm glad that because in Dark Souls 2, your front hit wasn't a kick, it was like a punch, which was like a guard break. That was the point of it. It was supposed to break the guard like the shield. I'm glad they've replaced that with the kick again, because the kick just feels so much nicer, to be honest.
Oh my god. I went up the tower. So you told me, I think last time, to get the tower key as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I got the tower key, went up, got back down, been locked in by Patches. Next time I saw him, I just straight up hit him a lot until he was no longer alive.
Did you kill him?
Yeah, of course I did.
Ah. All right.
Was that a mistake?
Not as far as I know, because the only thing you need him for is you need to get the Katarina armor off him to continue with the Sigvard quest.
Oh. How far does that quest go then? Because I got the Titanite slab from him. Like, I found him just running around. He was locked up in the
Wait.
cell. I found him.
Oh, right. Okay, so by killing Patches, you might have subverted something. No, wait. Okay. So Patches ambushed you in the Cathedral of the Deep, did he?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
He trapped me up the tower.
Right. So there's 2 ways. That's interesting, because what happens to me was that so you know in the Deacon of the Deep, in the Cathedral of the Deep, right?
Yeah.
So where the deacons are.
Yeah.
If you're looking at where the boss room is.
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Then on the sort of the left.
Yeah.
And left and right of the main cathedral, there's 2 like elevated areas.
Yeah.
Now you can get across there there's a bridge which can raise up.
Yes.
Now if you run across there at some point,
Mm-hmm.
Patches will be there in full Katarina armor, and he pretends to be Sigvard.
Oh.
And then you run across the bridge, and he'll lower the bridge on you, expecting the giant to kill you. But you've killed the giant by this point, so he's like, oh, what the fuck? Then you go up to the tower, he locks you in.
I didn't kill any giants.
Then, yeah, maybe it was that. But then he locks you in, you go down, you forgive him, you buy the Katarina armor off him, go back to where the bonfire is, in the Deacon of the Deep, the one which has like the 3 shortcuts out of it or whatever. Now if you run out of that, the way you came in originally, and turn right, there's a well. Down the well is Sigvard without any armor, so you got to buy the armor and give it to him, and then his quest continues. But if you just flat out kill Patches, I guess that just subverts the entire thing.
Yeah, I think I've subverted the whole thing, because none of that sounds familiar, and I definitely found him later in the game.
It's really convoluted, and yeah, but if that's the first time you've met Patches instead of in the Katarina armor, then I suppose you killed him and you never nicked it off Sigvard. So yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
I can't remember when I did it, but
no,
I went up the thing.
Patches is a bastard because he does that to Sigvard, and then he can kill Grirat because the little thief dude.
Yeah.
So because you can send Grirat off to nick stuff, and you can send him off 3 times. And first time he always comes back. Second time, if you tell Patches where he's gone, he doesn't come back. Or if you haven't saved Sigvard, he doesn't come back. And then the third time, he always dies. So,
Dear. This game's just crazy.
But make sure you always recover his body because he's got his ashes, and you can give that back to the handmaiden. And even if you send him off the third time and he dies, he'll still have better equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that in a nutshell for you.
Nice.
Fucking hell.
I tried using Smo's Great Hammer, but it's unwieldy and very difficult to use.
Oh god, don't use the great hammers. The great hammers are pain in the ass.
It's
if you're looking for an alternative strength weapon which is quick, go find yourself a Black Knight Great Axe.
Okay.
That's what you want because it's got fucking loads of reach. It does a lot of damage, and it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
That reminds me, actually, have you done because there's 3 side areas. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Have you done the Smouldering Lake?
Nah.
Hmm.
Nah, I didn't know what that was. I haven't uncovered that much because I'm just like I said, I'm getting to bosses and I'm just running areas, killing everything that I see on my path. If I killed it once, I don't see the point. Like if I've made it through that area, I don't see the point in like doing it again and again. Like, oh, I've done that before. I know I can do that. And luckily, there's like a lot of shortcuts that allow you to go past all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much point for you going back with your character because if you go pyromancy at all, like even minorly into pyromancy, you have almost got to go there because it's got 3 pyromancy tomes, I believe. And then there's a load of pyromancy stuff. There's like loads of Black Knights down there. It's basically supposed to be remnants of Izalith, I think.
Okay.
There's like a boss down there, which is basically a Tower of Steam, which is now on fire, and he has he has this massive, just fuck off huge hammer, which is basically a boulder on a stick. And yeah, there's loads of stuff over there, but it's at the level you're at now, you would literally just breeze through it because it's below the catacombs.
Okay, yeah.
So it's where you fight. What's the name of that
High
giant
Lord
skeleton
Walner?
dude? That's the one.
Yeah.
It's below him.
Okay.
So you're supposed to do it kind of that time, but since you're at Lorien and Lothric, you're not gonna have a problem.
No, Lorien and Lothric pose an interesting challenge. Let's say that.
Double bosses always do.
Yes.
There was a boss again in Dark Souls 2, which is very reminiscent because it's called the Throne Watcher and the Throne. I can't remember. Throne Guardian, maybe. But anyway, there was 2 of them, and they were male and female. And if you killed one, the other would revive him after X amount of time. So what you had to do, you had to kind of whittle them both down, and then basically do a finishing blow on both of them within about 30 seconds of each other.
Yeah.
Which I feel is very much what you have to do in this Lothric fight.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Like you can move around and like hit both of them at the same time if you hit from behind, and it does more damage to the littler one. But their health bars are obviously the same size, but it does proportionally exactly the same amount of damage by health bar.
Oh, right.
So you do like 238 on one hit to the dude on the back, but 190 to the other one. So,
but he has less health, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, what I found useful is if you can get enough hits to the face on Lorien, you can stagger him.
Yeah.
And then you can just do that. I did that when he was on his when they were both together.
Yeah.
And I think they get separated when he lands on his back, and then they have to recombine. So that's kind of handy, but at the same time,
that's a good opportunity if you can capitalize on it to get rid of Lothric, but it's hard. Now, that reminds me though, because one of the side bosses, it's the side area with the dragons, and Keemix was going on to me about this because he's played this, and he was like, I don't know, level 90. No, he's level 90, which is what I'm at the moment. And he was like, yeah, what level are you?
I'm like level 70, maybe.
Yeah, that's why I've done all the side areas and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just much higher level. But he was saying, I'm in so much trouble with the dragon, this, that, and the other. I killed what is supposedly considered the hardest boss in Dark Souls 3 in my first try.
Nice.
Because I just staggered the fuck out of him with my axe. Because I hit him twice and then he staggered, so I crit him. And then he'd get up, I dodge once, the rolling attack with the Great Hammer slams it on the floor, which always makes him stagger lightly, and then just the overhead swing on the strong attack makes him stagger properly. Yeah. Again, crit attack, just did it over and over again. He didn't even touch me. And I was like, so this guy's supposed to be the strongest guy, and I just annihilated him because I can stagger him?
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
It's like Gwyn was ridiculous in Dark Souls 1, but you could parry him and stab him and...
Yeah, if you could parry Gwyn, he just becomes inconsequential.
Yeah.
Like, he's just... I could never get it down because it's quite a tight timing. But I can dodge all his moves.
Black armor and Thieves' Shield and... Oh, parries for days. I'd always have like a plus 15 Bandit's Knife as well. Oh, because that was so good. Yeah.
Never got along with the knives. Never did.
Oh man, I want to play a thief so that I can use the Bandit's Knife, but I'm not. I still haven't got my parry timing down, so I'm not sure if I will.
It's very similar to Dark Souls 1 parry timing though. So
yes. Yeah, that's what I found immediately. I was like, oh, I can parry and counter, and then like some enemies have weird timings, so I wasn't used to it. So I'm just like,
yeah,
I'll go through the game, then I'll try and do that next time through.
The parry timing is the same for like when you need to parry from when they're going to hit you, as Dark Souls 1, but they've got like delayed attacks like they do in Dark Souls 2. So it's like, yeah, again, it's best of both worlds kind of thing, which they brought to the table, which is nice, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I'm totally looking forward to like Bandit Knives and like all the different weapons.
Well, there's also like you can put bleed on weapons now, and I found something out recently that bleed and poison, if you infuse your weapons with them, that scales with luck. So put loads of points into luck with a Bandit's Knife bleed. You're going to get significant blood loss on your target.
Luck and Dex. Oh, that's going to be such a nice build. I'm so excited.
And there's also, yeah, I was trying to figure out what some of the infusions do, and like the Hollow Gem is interesting. Because that, once you get above 10 hollowing,
yeah,
which you probably don't know how to do actually.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, no, you're going to find that in your second playthrough.
Okay.
So I guess he's dead by now actually. So it's hollowing's to do with the guy who would give you 3 levels. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay, yeah. Yol.
His quest. Yeah, Yol. It's to do with his quest. But anyway, so you got a hollow. It's kind of like... and then once you get above 10 hollowing, your weapon starts to physically scale with luck.
Okay.
So it will do physical damage in relation to how much luck you have.
Okay.
So
crazy. Yeah. So yeah, there's still a lot for me to learn in this game, but at the same time, I'm having a great time.
There is shit tons of stuff you've missed actually.
Yeah, I know there's
because of the way you've done it. You run through. There are shit tons of stuff you missed. Like for instance, well, the entire that entire quest with Yorm is a very interesting one, and you've actually locked yourself out of an ending by not doing it. There's 3 endings, I think, like in Bloodborne. You've locked yourself out of the completely and utterly evil ending.
Okay.
So
I've yeah, when I was playing Bloodborne, I did the same thing, like, but I got to the end of the game and then I was like, okay, I'll look it up, and I was like, oh, I got the worst of the 3 endings possible.
Oh, did you? You got enslaved?
Maybe.
There's 3 endings. You get set free. You get enslaved by the moon presence, or you have the 3/3 of the umbilical cord, and you become the chosen thing. Which I'm guessing you didn't do that one.
I absolutely didn't do that one because I had no idea what those were.
Yeah.
And I heard all the stuff going on about the Game Grumps playing it as well, because they made extra sure to go and get them all and make sure that they had them. Forgot to use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Best thing.
No, I watched 2 best friends play that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like just before they were about to run into the final boss, it's like, all right, okay, we'll do this next time. And then they come back, it's like, right, guys, so we looked some things up. We need to go get some more items because we want to get the best ending. So they fucked off and got all the umbilical cords. And we're about to go in, and they're like, shit, we got to do them. But yeah, similar sort of thing.
Yeah, so
you've got because I've tried to cover a lot of stuff in my first playthrough, because I'm doing 2 playthroughs simultaneously as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to cover a lot of stuff at the same time. Like there's only 8 covenants in this one, which is a bit weird because they've got rid of the Dragon Covenant, which was great, and I like the Dragon Covenant, but they got rid of it. And but at the same time,
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm going to find all the covenants this playthrough. I think
You'll have found them all by now.
I know there's one I haven't got. And it's the one where you need to get into the cage and the back of the thing.
Oh, you can't do that.
No?
Nope. if you've killed the Rotten Greatwood, or even if you've attacked him.
Not been in there. Not at all.
Not at all. You haven't even gone
No.
into the boss room.
Not in this. Not on my strength character. Not at all.
Ah. Okay. No, you can still do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you attack the Rotten Greatwood at all, like even if you die to him and you get sat outside the boss room, you can't get to that.
Mound Makers.
Mound Makers.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
There's the Mound Makers. There's the hardest one to get to, in terms of physical enemies, was Aldrich's servants or Aldrich's deacons or something.
Okay.
Oh god, because you know those. So you know when you get into Erythil,
Yes.
you know there's that dog thing that runs across the bridge trying to kill you?
Yes.
There's 2 of them attacking you at the fucking same time. You gotta kill both of them, and then you can get to the Covenant. And those things are some of the worst enemies in that game.
They're ridiculously fast and they can just change direction.
They're ridiculously fast,
so
to change direction, they do fuck tons of damage.
Yeah.
So
I haven't killed one yet, just because I'm just like, nah, I can't be bothered.
you have to take on 2 of them at the same time. Or you can kite one of them out with arrows, and then you've got a very, very small enclosed space to fight with him. Otherwise, the other one's going to aggro.
Yeah.
So it's not great.
No, I can imagine, but yeah, I'm having fun with the game at least. So
Yes.
that's the best thing. Like it's important for me that I'm still enjoying it and having fun and trying to figure things out.
I do think we're getting quite close to the end though, because we've got Lothric and Lorien to do,
Yeah.
and I think there might be one other boss and then the final boss, but I'm not even sure of that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure what there really is going on in the game. So I'm like, I don't know. Like the things that are said in that boss fight as well kind of give the idea that you are close to the end of the game.
The tone I'm getting as well, because I've done again one of the side areas, again is opening and ending, which the way like the items and stuff you find over there which allow you to do this ending, it's very sort of finale sort of feel.
Okay.
Like it feels that area. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you do go and find it, it feels a bit Bloodborne-y in the way it's sort of like handled.
Okay.
And it kind of feels a bit like the very end where you can get like the Doll's Tear and stuff. Like it's kind of similar to that in a way.
Yeah.
But that's like, that's most of the way into Bloodborne, and I'm thinking, yeah, we're probably quite near the end. Because like you said, I don't quite know where it's going to go. I know there is a final boss beyond Lothric and Lorien.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I got that spoiled for me, but aside from that, I don't know.
Yeah. I just know that there's more ahead, but yeah. What was I going to say? What's been your favourite boss so far?
The one that I was like, holy shit, what the hell was that? Probably. Oh, fuck, what's his name?
I don't know.
He's the second Lord of Cinder.
The one that
Aldrich.
Aldrich?
Dear God, man.
Yeah.
Came into that room, saw Gwendolyn, was like, oh fuck. And then it turns out it's somebody else. I'm like, what is going on? And then arrows and fire and homing bollocks and He was a good boss though. I quite liked fighting Aldrich.
Yeah, I had a problem with the second stage on that fight. Actually, I sent you a million messages being like, how the balls do I beat this?
Yeah, it is run.
Can't. Yeah.
It's the first. I think it's the first boss. Aside from if you can do this tactic with Ornstein and Smaug, actually, ironically, which is in the same area,
it's in the same room.
which is to just completely disengage him when he does things.
Yeah.
Like when he does the arrows, just don't even try and hit him. Just freaking run. There's no way.
Yeah.
You can't tank the damage. You can't block the damage. You can't dodge the damage. You just gotta freaking run.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not worth it. Like
it's that, and I think my favorite to fight, like co-oping, is the Greatwood, because I just find it quite fun to fight that one, because as well he's not a hard enemy either, so you can just like farm him for souls for days.
Yeah.
So
I think. Yeah. Okay. So I've got one point that I need to make after this, but I think that my favorite boss has been Dancer. Just because I don't know, like I found the rhythm of Dancer.
Unfortunately,
good,
you got along with that more well than I did, because I tried to, again, and this is on recording as well. I tried to kill her early.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. as you can guess. And then even when I got to her after killing the other, like the 3 Lords of Cinder, and it teleported me over there, as soon as I appeared in that boss room, I was like, right, fuck it, I'm out of here. Homeward Bone, I'm not dealing with that right now.
I teleported away immediately. Like, as soon as I got in, because I'd just beaten Aldrich,
yeah.
Aldrich. I was just like, no, I've got too many souls. I'm immediately out of here.
See, I just fought Yorm, so because you could do Yorm and Aldrich in either order. To be honest, I normally do Aldrich first. To be honest.
Yeah, I just happened to do Aldrich second. I didn't really, well, because you beat Pontiff Sullivan, and then you've got the way up to Anor Londo to go to Aldrich. And at that point, I couldn't figure out what to do, and I knew I was far down another path as well. So I was down the path towards the Irithyll dungeon, which takes you all the way down.
Yeah, because I got lost. I went all the way up, killed Aldrich, and then I was like, oh shit, I've got nowhere to go. I completely blanked.
Yeah.
And at that point, I went down into I tried going down into the Scorched Lake or whatever it's called. Did like most of that, and I was like, this is a dead end. Like, you can just tell a lot of the time. It's like, this is a dead end. This is not going anywhere. I was like, for fuck's sake. And then I've actually found that down into the Irithyll dungeon and whatnot. But anyway, we're running.
Yes, we're running very long. So the last point I wanted to make was that we were talking about enemies with 2 health bars and killing them in quick succession. I tried to do that on one of my earliest playthroughs of Dark Souls, actually on the first playthrough, because I hadn't killed one successfully, and I had them both down to within 10% of being killed. Then you kill one, and the other one gets his full health back. Full health! And they're buffed, they're stronger, faster, and just generally more deadly. And I was furious that day.
Yep. No, Ornstein Smaug has instigated enough rage to fill. Wow.
So many boots. So many boots.
It's not good. Like once you get them down, you can kill them quite easily.
Yeah. Once you know it, but yeah.
Once you know it, you can do it. But I mean, I was talking to Callum again before Dark Souls 3 came out. Me and Callum Beep did a bit of co-oping in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
And we got to we ended at about that point, and I was helping them, and then Cal was like, "Yeah, I've never beat them on my own," and I was like, "That's surprising, actually."
Yeah.
Like he says, "No, he's like, no, you have to have somebody helping you." It's like you don't.
You don't.
It's very
I've soloed
difficult.
It a lot.
Yeah. No, I've done it a lot of times.
Sorcerer in the original Dark Souls is OP, and you can have homing soul mass by that point, and you can have soul spear by that point as well. Not crystal soul spear, but regular soul spear, because you can unlock Logan.
Yeah.
So it's completely doable, but you do need to plan out meticulously where all your points are going. But it's completely possible to beat them.
To be fair, sorcery's never been underpowered. Like there's a sorcery in this one which is in the archives called Soul Stream.
I've just found that actually.
Yeah, that is literally a giant freaking laser. Like about the diameter of your guy's height. Just blasts in one direction. Very hard to dodge. Does a fuck ton of damage. The only downside is it uses a lot of FP, but you can just drink an Ashen Flask and get it back now.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so powerful.
Okay.
But,
I now have a final question. That will be the final question. What balance have you got between regular flasks and Ashen Flasks?
Oh, 100% into regulars.
Yes.
Except for, well, with Yanis, the one who's furthest along is 100% Estus.
Yes.
With Argus, because I've done Pyromancer, I've got 2 Ashen Estus.
Oh, okay.
But, 12 normal Estus versus 2 Ashen. And the only reason I have 2 Ashen is because when you co-op, you get your Estus sliced in half. So it means when I'm co-op, I have 1 Ashen.
Yeah.
And I barely ever normally get through that, to be honest, so,
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, we've gone super long, and that's okay. Thank you very much, Dom, for being my guest.
It's alright, Topham, anytime.
Excellent. And where can we find you across the internet?
I am McDom on most things, or McDom023k on YouTube. If you fancy actually watching any Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3 stuff even, flub that, you can come find my channel, which I'm trying to upload every Monday and Friday on that. And XCOM 2 on Wednesdays, which, to be perfectly honest, it's 2 days till I have to release that. I still have not recorded episode 14, so guess what I'm doing after this?
Oh, doing that.
I haven't played it since... I was looking at my last recording, episode 13, which just came out last week. That was recorded in April.
Uh-huh.
It's been over a month
Yeah.
since I've played that game, and that is not a game you want to just sit and ignore.
Oh my
because you
God.
get bad at it, and
Yeah.
then people will die.
Yeah. I remember like recording my Dark Souls cut-up playthrough, and it took me 4 months before I actually sat down and edited it all. And like I had it all sitting there, all the video for like, I don't know, 12 hours of me playing the game. I cut it down to like an hour and a half, like 2 hours. But like, I had it just sitting there waiting for me to do something with it. It's just...
Yeah, I got an audiobook on the go, which has been going since January. I'm 50-something parts into 60 parts. That's not getting released until I'm done, so, you know.
Cool. Right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. My name is Topham, and you can find me across the internet in various places. Either Topham, Destroy Topham, or Etherfar. Yeah. It's been a pretty long chat today, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Mr. Dom.
It's alright, man. Like I said, anytime.
Yeah. Right. Thank you everyone for listening. Goodbye.
Ta-ra!